District 4 has increased substantially since 2010. Please describe this new constituency and what you believe what are their three core issues. Ms. Goolsbee?
As I heard earlier, and I thought about this while I was filling out the questionnaire also, is that I don't, in my community organizing, I have not came across and been able to talk to that community and really ask on their issues. I was a part of the East Oakland Neighborhood Voices, that we had a full constituency in which we developed programs where we were able to bond, but that was before 2010, and this growth in their issues, I'm not aware.
Thank you. Mr. Miley?
Yes, I believe the three major constituencies are Indo-American, Japanese, and Chinese, as well as Korean. In fact, one of my interns working for me is from Korea, now is a foreign exchange student. And I think some of the top issues are obviously immigration reform, to ensure that there's immigration policies that have taken place throughout the country that allow for folks to immigrate to this country safely and securely, and then to get on the path to citizenship and to have all the privileges of citizenship and have all the support services associated with any American citizen in this country. Secondly, I think the issues of equity and inclusion, to address implicit bias that exists in our communities. I mean, implicit bias, I don't think there's anybody who's pure, but the issues of implicit bias, so that when we look at certain folks, we don't automatically go to certain connotations in our minds and do certain things that are not necessarily in the best interest of that community. And I think mental health services is another big issue, as well as the need for housing. I think because the housing crisis is an issue that affects all of us, but clearly mental health services. I know I worked with SEIU on issues of mental health just recently around the Asian Health Center. And so those would be some of the things I would consider major concerns among the Asian American community here in Alameda County.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and our last question, as was duly noted, is that we will not have an opportunity for a closing statement, so if there's something that you want to incorporate, this would be the time. So the second and last question is, what are the social justice issues facing Asian and Pacific Americans in your district? We'll start with Mr. Miley.
Yeah. Well, I kind of touched upon one, implicit bias. I think recently at the San Lorenzo fire station, there was a mailing that went out that once again raised issues around implicit bias, and it actually was sent out by people who are from the Asian American community. But that mailing communication that went out was offensive, and so I know the Board of Supervisors got engaged with that particular concern. And I don't think the folks who sent it out necessarily were cognizant of what they were doing, but it gets to that whole thing about implicit bias and trying to make sure that everybody sees everyone on an equity scale as opposed to an equal scale. We all need to be, it's like the equal, we can all kind of see things equally, but with equity, we're all on the same level playing field. And I think that's what we need to be looking at. And I'm pleased to have the support of the Central Committee for the Alameda County Party. I'm pleased to have the support of the Building and Trades. I'm pleased to have the support of the Labor Council. I'm pleased to have the support of Assemblymember Rob Bonta, my colleague on the Board of Supervisors, Wilma Chan. So I just continue to thrive to have the support of folks from the Asian American community here in Alameda County, because my district goes from Oakland to Pleasanton. It includes a lot of different factions, a lot of different interests, a lot of competing demands, and I try to represent those issues as effectively as possible. And I really would value to have the support of the Asian American political club today for my re-election to the County Board of Supervisors. So thank you so very much.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure, of course. What are the social justice issues facing Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in your district?
Yeah, so I don't have the pleasure of being in this seat for 20 years or so. Again, to be honest and transparent and not actually knowing the details, but I can believe that the issues that are facing Alameda County are the same for everyone. In different ways, we all have a struggle. And so what I do prioritize in letting everyone know that once I'm in that seat, around the work that I will be doing and preparing us and working toward actually having local contributors to this climate chaos that we are in, and being able to have access in all languages, and for us to really understand that if one area is going through struggles, all of our county is going through that. I would love to be open and always being able to have everyone come and let me know what is the issues, what are the problems that they are dealing with, and for it to be known that it's not just going to be hearing this and making promises or setting deals. It's really going to be working with the communities that are having these issues and being suffered, to where we actually see the difference in our county.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thanks, Anita.
Thank you.
Thank you.